Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about 3 real estate investment trusts that all pay on a monthly basis. So let's get started. The first one we're going to talk about is Realty Income. This one has been around for a long time. They've been paying dividends for decades, and they've actually been raising those dividends every single month, or every single year, I'm sorry. And they pay on a monthly basis, as you can see. The last payment day was 9/13, 8/15 before that. And if you look back at the history, you will see that these dividends have been consistently going up, even going back to, like, let's say 2014, 10 years ago. You can see they're paying 18 cents a share, and now they're paying over 25, looks like 26 cents a share. So even though there's been inflation, you know that you've been getting a continual increased dividend over the long term. So Realty Income is a company that's well diversified in a variety of real estate properties. They actually pride themselves as being called the monthly dividend company, which means, they have tenants like McDonald's, for example, as you can see in the picture. They have a proven track record of success according to the senior leadership and all that kind of stuff. They have all the data here listed in terms of how many dividends they've declared, how many increases they've had, right? 107 since it looks like the company's been founded, or since they've at least been public. So they've increased their dividend 107 times, and they paid out 650 times consecutively every single month. You can look at the 4.3% compound annual dividend growth rate since the 1994 New York Stock Exchange listing. And if you look at the actual, what the company's all about, you can kind of read through. Realty Income is an S&P 500 company, a real estate partner to the world's leading companies. Founded in 1969, they invest in a diversified commercial real estate portfolio and have over 15,000 properties in all 50 states, the UK, Europe, and all kinds of other countries around the world, basically. So they're known as the monthly dividend company, as you can see, and they have a mission of delivering stockholders dependable monthly dividends that grow over time. And then it goes into how they've consistently paid out those dividends. If you look at the portfolio of this company, you can take a look on their website here, featured properties and clients. It'll actually tell you exactly which companies they're working with and how they're making their money. You have 7-Eleven on here. That's one of the main ones, actually. I don't know what happened to it. It was on here, but basically 7-Eleven is one of their major tenants. If we can look at this here, let me see if I can find it again. There it is. So 7-Eleven. We mentioned McDonald's, right? There's a lot of companies, but I encourage you to do your research. We have Chipotle, right? So leased to Chipotle Mexican Grill. They completed over a 2,350 square foot building. So these are just some of the examples of different properties that they have in their portfolio. Looking at the chart over the last year, let's say, since even November of last year, coming up on the fall again here, but you can see how this price has been going up all the way from under $50 a share. Now it's trading at 62, so it has been participating in some of the upside of the market, and currently trading at a $54 billion market cap. So yield right now is 5.03% for Realty Income, according to FinViz, and then according to NASDAQ.com, 5.11%. So roughly 5% on the dividend yield. That one is Realty Income. The next one we're going to talk about, the next monthly dividend-paying real estate investment trust, is Stag Industrial. I've also talked about this one on the channel previously. This one, here's the short-term chart since November of last year. You can see it was trading down at 31. Now it's trading at $40 a share. If we look at this, you can see how right now the market cap is over $7 billion. And we have a smaller company than Realty Income, because Realty Income was around $50 billion. If we look at the dividend history for Stag Industrial, first of all, you'll see the yield 3.68%. Quarterly dividend of 37 cents, but that is paid on a monthly basis. We have right here, if we look at these most recent monthly dividends, you can see they've been paying consistently and also raising those dividends. Not quite as much as Realty Income. Remember, there's always inflation and things to consider with interest rates and whatnot. But if we look at the dividend history, you can go back, let's say, all the way down to 2015, and you can see they're paying under 10 cents in, let's say, 10 years ago, or roughly 10 cents, 10.5 cents, and now they're paying over 20% more than they were paying back then. So with inflation, they're probably not really keeping up in terms of those dividends. The hope is that as the company continues to grow, I mean, this is still a relatively small company. $7.32 billion on the market cap. So there's a lot of room for growth with this stock. And so as it grows over the long term, perhaps you could have significant dividend increases. And so far, during COVID and all that, that was one of the main things we saw with a lot of real estate investment trusts, is that they were not able to weather the storm. Since then, though, since COVID, they weathered the storm just fine. Over 12 cents on the dividend paid every single month, and they're still paying out those dividends. So you're getting those monthly checks into your brokerage account just by investing in this real estate investment trust. So Stag Industrial, to answer the question on what they do, when you look at some of the properties, believe it or not, Amazon and a lot of these other large tenants out there do business with Stag Industrial. Those are some of the tenants that are associated with this company. So when we look at this, they're primarily investing in industrial real estate. That's why they call it Stag Industrial. But you're looking at e-commerce facilities. You're looking at all these different properties that they, for industrial warehouses and stuff. Then they'll lease them out to various companies. So they're the ones that are the owner-operators of these large warehouses, large industrial facilities, factories, etc. And then they'll have companies that they'll get rental income from, and then they pay it out to you as the shareholder of Stag Industrial. That's the simplest way I can put it. So you have e-commerce giants like Amazon and other tenants out there. So that's what Stag Industrial is all about. You can come on over to their website and check them out. Go to the About Us page and see what this company has in store. Like I said, it's a much smaller company than the first one we talked about, Realty Income. Realty Income is actually a dividend aristocrat because they've increased their dividend for so long. Stag is not quite there. So I would say over the long term, this one definitely has the potential to grow substantially. One thing I noticed with this company during COVID is that their occupancy rate remained, I think, above 97 or 98%, which was fantastic during COVID because they had a high occupancy rate while other REITs were getting destroyed and having to cut their dividends. They were able to maintain their dividends just like Realty Income was because they were conservative. The management team knew what they were doing, and they were able to weather the storm in a relatively good market, especially during COVID. You had a lot of companies that were booming from e-commerce and all kinds of stuff as internet shopping went way up. So that is Stag Industrial. That's the second real estate investment trust. If we look at the third one here, we're actually talking about LTC. This one also weathered the storm during COVID. So this dividend has been paid out consistently every single month. LTC is for senior housing and skilled nursing properties, right? So the portfolio is comprised of 50% senior housing and 50% skilled nursing. LTC is a real estate investment trust that invests in senior housing and healthcare, primarily through sale leasebacks, mortgage financing, joint ventures, construction financing, and structured financing solutions. We have preferred equity, bridge, and all this type of stuff. But you can see some of the portfolio and what they're actually investing in, how they're making their money, right? They're investing in these properties basically, and then they're giving you a monthly dividend. That's the simplest way I can put it. So they're investing in skilled nursing facilities and senior housing and stuff like that, and then they're paying out these dividends on a monthly basis. Looking at the history, you can see here since going back over the last 10 years, consistent history paying dividends every single month. Once again, we have dividends going from 15 cents to 17 cents all the way up to 18 cents, and now they're paying right now 19 cents per share. So it'll be interesting to see if they can increase that dividend again. But with all three of these companies, at least you have those monthly dividends that are consistent. They've been reliable. Realty Income has been most definitely the most famous one, I guess, with being a dividend aristocrat and having the slogan, the monthly dividend company. They really pride themselves on paying those monthly dividends. But Stag Industrial and also LTC Properties, I think, are also solid companies just due to the fact that they've been able to weather the storm during tough economic times. They've kind of been very resilient. This one has a 6.29% dividend yield. You can kind of look at the long-term chart too and say, how is this weathered in terms of the actual share price? Because you can talk about the dividend all you want, but are you making money on the upside? We kind of saw how Stag Industrial and, just over the last year, for example, this one was trading at 31, now it's trading at 36. So you've had some upside in the share price. But with all of these companies, they have positive funds from operations. They're profitable companies. And I would argue they all have pretty strong balance sheets. They're conservatively run. They have good management teams. And overall, this one's kind of been on the downtrend since 2020, right? But if you look at the long-term chart, it's been around for a long time, right? So the longer-term chart kind of tells a different story in terms of where this is traded. And I think the most important things with these REITs is just seeing those consistent dividends and hopefully seeing those dividends go up over time, right? So that would be LTC Properties. Once again, this one invests in the senior housing and skilled nursing properties, roughly 50% on both sides. But you can come to their website, check it out, and do more research on this company if you want. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Once again, the companies discussed in this video: LTC Properties Incorporated, LTC is the ticker symbol, Stag Industrial, STAG, and then of course we also have O stock, which is Realty Income, the dividend aristocrat stock that is well diversified into a lot of different businesses across the country, prides itself in increasing those dividends on a monthly basis. So thank you so much for tuning in. This has been 3 real estate investment trusts that pay on a monthly basis. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.